Good morning. I've got my coffee in hand. I've got my bacon on the stove. Today we're going to make some farm cheese. My wife and I have been raising Nigerian dwarfs here in Nebraska since 2019. My wife Jenny knows all there is to know about him, or at least a lot more than I do. We have our herd on milk test and linear appraisal. We want to have goats that are easy to milk and that produce a good amount of milk and are hardy and easy to take care of. The last while we haven't had much milk, but today we have a special treat. We have extra milk and we're going to make some farm cheese with it. Okay, you want some grain, huh girl? Let's get you some grain. The last while most of our milk has been going to milk customers, so it's kind of exciting that we get to actually keep some ourselves today. That's probably about good enough. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Alright, let's get you washed up, Lizzie. Oh yeah, I get to milk the fastest goat in the farm.
Okay, so we're going to make our farmer's cheese, which is often called acid cheese. And instead of using a culture to make cheese, you just use vinegar. And usually I use white distilled vinegar, but today I'm going to use apple cider vinegar. First of all, you got to heat the milk up. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm just going to do a gallon of milk. I actually have enough milk to do 2 gallons of milk, but it's easier for me because of the size of my press that I have to just do 1 gallon at a time. So you don't have to stir the milk the whole time, but occasionally give it a stir and keep it about on medium heat, and then we use an instant read thermometer to just check the temperature. That's cool. I'm going to use some to make some yogurt. Okay, so it's about at 174. And you can also tell by how it's steaming and kind of foamy. And I'm actually just going to shut the heat off and dump in the vinegar. I'll usually do not quite a cup, about 3/4 of a cup. And then give it a little bit of a stir, but you don't need to stir it really very much. And it starts to separate the curd from the whey. And I like to let it sit there for 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so we just put, this is a flour sack towel and a colander from Gabe's aunt and a pitcher. And all the whey should fit in that pitcher. And then we're just going to pour it into there. Okay. Be pretty as well as practical.
Are you taking a video of me, Margie? Oh.
Okay, now we're going to season it. Hopefully I can get it out of this cloth. I think we had a different rag that worked better for us.
Especially fried goat cheese.
Fried goat cheese. That's the best.
I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons of salt. I've seen some recipes just call for 1 teaspoon, but that's just not enough. If you want it to taste good, just go ahead and put 2 teaspoons of salt in it. Now, I I don't measure this, but I kind of want to know how much I put in. So I'm just going to sort of see what it looks like. It looks pretty good, so that was a good teaspoon. Okay, this is garlic. I think that's enough. Is that what we usually do?
Yeah.
Let's just get a little bit more because you can't ever have too much garlic. And parsley, you don't measure parsley, you just sprinkle it in because it's just a waste of time to measure parsley. Okay? You can't taste it, it's just for pretty. There. Now we're going to try to smush that into there. Gabe says my bowl is too big, but I kind of like it big because it stirs up better. That is looking so delicious. My mouth is watering, and I'm going to eat some of this as soon as possible. Now, I would guess that that gallon of milk is making about a pound of cheese, but it might, I don't know, I'm not sure if it's more or less than a pound. It's around a pound, though. Our goat's milk is very high in butter fat, and so you get a good cheese yield when you have good fat and protein content. And I think their protein is around 5% usually, and their fat is between 6 to 8% or something like that, or 5 to 8%. Okay, so we take our cloth that we just used. Sure got that stirred up good, and then you just taste it, see if it's good. Yep, it's good. It's plenty salty. When you fry it, then that's really good. The extra salt is just right then. So yeah, for salt, 1 to 2 teaspoons. There, just gonna fold that over just one time. Stick this thing in here. Well, this plastic thing is a cheese mold with a follower is what it is. And Gabe made the boards and we just tighten them up. You can also just use a bowl with a plate on top of the cheese and sit some weights on it or something like that. Works fine to do it that way too.
Now we just have to give it another hour or two. Okay, we're going to take it out of the press now. Just loosen these screws up. Alright, and here is our cheese. Let's see how much we've got.
1 pound and 4 ounces. 1.27 pounds.
1.27.
Why don't you go paint if you want to so bad?
Okay.
I got 1 puppy sold though.
Now that our cheese has been pressed and refrigerated for a little while, we're slicing it and we're going to fry some up.
Karen, I don't want you to do that.
Well, I'm not going to let snowman.
The cheese is still a little bit soft. If we would have left it in the fridge for a day or two before slicing it, it would hold together just a little bit nicer than this. But we don't feel like waiting to try it. And the floor mounts.
Margie wants to see it, Gabe.
Okay. Is that look yummy?
Does it look good? Yeah.
What do you think? Does that look good?
Yeah.
Margie, do you want some?
that pretty good? Is it good? You like it?
Yeah.